Before I begin, I just want, oh, is that on? No, just loud? Got it. Okay, before I begin, I want to say thank you to the Kiwanis for having this event. As a former Circle K and Key Club kid, it's great to be around Kiwanis again. All right, so anyways, I'm going to be very clear. So I'm not a native Medinan, but I am a proud citizen of this community. My family moved here on purpose, and we plan to stay here for the next 21 years or so. My wife is pregnant. We're having another kid. So this is something that we're invested in the long run. So while our current board has been great for making financial decisions, I think it's time that we have new direction to rebuild our prestige. And this is my field. I am an educator. This has been my life's work. I know what best practice looks like, and I know what waste looks like in education. And I'm saying that coming in, I can help decide where reallocation of funds can happen without hurting our district and our students. I want to bring people together, which is why throughout this campaign I have made myself available to administrators, to teachers, and to parents. I am not planning to do so. I have already begun doing this process, ensuring that everyone has a voice and that all opinions are heard. I'm doing this because I want to support my community, not because I'm looking to bump elbows with someone at the State House. This is about our local community. It's not about Columbus, it's about us. I believe in compromise and listening to all decisions, which is why I have been reaching out to all parties and been willing to take questions, including some that go against things that I may personally believe in. I believe in responsibility with finances. I personally live within my own means, and I think it's important that we have accountability and transparency. I personally have been willing to take any public comment or public question throughout this campaign, and I'll answer publicly. I think it's time the board moves to more transparency to ensure past mistakes do not happen again. I don't want our board to micromanage, and I support all students and teachers for success. I do not believe in taking away the freedoms of our students and teachers, and I don't believe that we should limit choice of students. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you all for inviting me here this morning to speak with you. My name is Rebecca Parkhurst. I've been a resident of Medina since 2003 with my husband. Since moving here, we have 2 children that now attend AI Root Middle School here in the district. Give you a little bit about myself. I have a 4-year accounting degree from the University of Mount Union. I worked in public accounting for 7 years, and then I went to the College of Worcester where I was the controller there. After that, I decided to stay home and raise my family for some time when I had children, and now I've been at the Greater Medina Chamber of Commerce as the accountant there for about 6 years. So back in 2015, I was appointed to the school board to fulfill a vacancy. Since that time, and currently, I serve on the insurance committee, the finance committee. I'm the board representative to the district liaison for curriculum. I've also served on the policy committee, and I'm currently serving as vice president of the board. I feel we have a very strong board. In the last 4 years, we have done a lot. We've passed a levy. We've remained fiscally responsible to the community. We have hired a new superintendent who is in his 2nd school year. We've negotiated contracts with the treasurer, renegotiated contracts with 2 of our unions, and we have a new union that we negotiated a contract with also this past year. So I think that we've proven that we can be fiscally responsible, living within our means. Our biggest challenge coming up is going to be communicating the need for the new levy. We will have a new levy that we're hoping to have on the ballot in May of 2018. If you've read in the paper, you've noticed it will be a reduction in mills from 5.9 to 5.2, but there will be no increase in taxes. Thank you.
Good morning. I'd like to thank you all for hosting this and having us here. It's definitely important for everybody to know who their school board members are. Just a little bit about myself. I've been asked why I'm running for the school board. We've had many wonderful opportunities here in Medina throughout our son's school year. He started his freshman year at the high school, and I feel I'm in the right place at the right time in my life to give back to the community, to work diligently. It's something that we as a family have always done. My son has been, he was in K-Kids all through his elementary, part of the Builders Club at Claggett, and hopefully we can work with his schedule and his studies and get involved in the Key Club at the high school. As a former business owner, I have experience balancing a budget, hiring qualified personnel, and meeting weekly payroll requirements. While not on a scale as large as the school districts, the principles are still the same. I also was a manufacturing software consultant. I worked with customers in implementing new software programs, training the employees, training them on procedures that I had authored, evaluating the software to their needs and their needs to the software. If the software needed to change, then I worked with the software designers to get those changes implemented. I like to compare it to serving as a bridge between the customer and the business, and that is something that I truly believe that school board is. They are serving as a bridge between the community and the educators. This is my 10th year in the district as a parent. I've been active in the PTO from the very beginning, ranging anywhere from working the snack table to leading small group in enrichment programs. Yes, can I? Oh, okay. Again, longevity in the community. I know a lot of people helping, answering questions from the elderly to parents to even getting the school, flashing school zone sign installed for us. Okay. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Benjamin, for inviting us out in the Medina Breakfast Kiwanis Club. We appreciate you guys doing this every 4 years, and it's a great organization. My name is Rob Skidmore, and I've been serving for the past 4 years on the Medina City School Board of Education. I appreciate the community electing me to that position. I've enjoyed serving. My background is I'm a lifelong Medina resident. I went to Medina High School. I married my high school sweetheart, Claudia. We have 2 children, Zachary and Zoe. Our son's in college. Our daughter's finishing her senior year of high school, playing soccer tonight with the playoff game. And so hopefully Medina brings home a win. I'm a lawyer. I have an MBA, and I went to Ashland University for my MBA. My undergrad is from Mount Vernon Nazarene. My law degree is from the University of Akron. We've instituted a lot of things to try to rectify the sins of the past, and with Medina. Transparency was a big campaign promise that we had the last time. We've done the best we can to try to be as transparent as we can with the voters. We've instituted new things like having the contracts available in advance before we vote on them so that people can read them and study them. We also have an interaction with people that come to the meeting, that if they want to give comment before we vote on items, we allow for public comment before we take votes. We've added software called Board Docs, which makes the availability of those documents much easier to navigate. The other thing we did, we joined OhioCheckbook.com. We were the second public institution in the county to do that, one of the first in the area. And so Medina has every check that we write, you can see on OhioCheckbook.com. So it's available for the public to see. We want to keep the students the #1 priority. And we have a new 5-year strategic plan. We hope that you'll consider me for another 4 years. Thank you.
So good morning, and thank you for the opportunity to be here. For those that don't know, before I became mayor, I've been mayor for 8 years. I'm running again this November unopposed. I was with the police department for 26 years, 13 as the chief of police. And I think a lot of that training has transferred over. So the city is about collaboration with the school, collaboration with this hospital, collaboration with the townships surrounding us, with Medina County. And a lot of what we've done has grown as a result of all working together and using tax dollars as effectively and as efficiently as we can. And that takes the administration. We've got a great city council in place, and we're all working together and pushing in the same direction. We've seen $128 million in recent years in industrial expansion, and $28 million when all those jobs are filled in new payroll coming into the city of Medina. And we have JEDS with Montville Township. We're working collaboratively with Medina Township. We do the joint LST with all 3 jurisdictions, as well as a Citizen Police Academy with all 3. And things are going very well. We'll continue to use your tax dollars as effectively and as efficiently as we can. Thank you.
Clay, it's easier to do these talks when you're unopposed. There's not too much to say. But I'm happy to be here with the morning Kiwanis. As, I'm sure you all know I'm a member of the noon Kiwanis. And I'm standing here behind a banner that says International President Alan Penn. So I have to tell you this story. My wife, Deanna, and I took my parents up to upstate New York. We went into Letchworth State Park, and they handed us the flyers. We went in. There was a craft show going on, and the local Kiwanis Club was running a booth selling food. We thought, well, we'll go support them. So Deanna and I went in, and we told them we knew Alan Penn, so they were going to charge us double for the food. So then we told them we knew Jerry Penn, and they gave us the food for free. So if you're visiting another club, you want to remember that. Anyway, thank you very much for having us. There's a couple of things that were mentioned here that I wanted to comment on. Rob Skidmore mentioned that the schools in OhioCheckbook.com, the city has just joined that recently as well. That's the state treasurer's program, so you can see those expenditures. The city has won awards from the GFOA for our audits. In the last couple of years, we've won an award with distinction from the state auditor's office. Things are going very well at the city. Happy to work with the council members and the administration we have, and happy to have your support for another 4 years. Thank you.
Good morning, and thank you. I'm not quite as adept as the mayor, and Keith is public speaking, so I do have notes. As Clay said, I am running, and I'm proud to be running for a third term as your councilman at large, so I won't take too much of your time. Over 30 years ago, my wife and I moved to the city. We were looking for the right place to raise our kids, and we obviously made the right decision 30 years ago. We built a home in Forest Meadows, and we've loved the city ever since. My wife and I have been married for 40 years, and we've raised 3 children here. Very proud to be here. We are members of St. Francis Xavier. I have a Bachelor's of Science degree from John Carroll in Business Administration from John Carroll University and an MBA from Cleveland State University. I have over 41 years of experience in the business field, from the steel mill shop floors up to corporate offices of General Motors, Baxter, Stryker, and the like. I've been on council for 8 years. As I said, I'm running for a third term, making it 12 years. And in that time, the city has seen vast improvements in the infrastructure, income tax collections, and businesses coming into the new town, as new businesses coming into town, as the mayor has said. This is accomplished by teamwork, and with that teamwork, we have a good team in place. We have a great working relationship with the administration, with the different departments and the city council, and I urge everyone to re-elect all of the incumbents to their offices this year. Thank you.
Hi, thank you for having me as a stand-in for Brian. He had to open the restaurant this morning, so it's really easy for me to sing the praises of my husband. He's an incredible man, but from the perspective of the voters, he is very dedicated to the city of Medina. He grew up in Medina County. I did not. I'm an East Side transplant, so we chose to be here knowing what a great community it was. We have been county residents for 12 years, city residents for 9 years. He was appointed onto council for a vacant position in 2012, just after the birth of our twins, and in 2013, he was elected to retain that position or stay in that position as the Ward 1 representative. He does currently have 2 opponents. Unfortunately, neither of them are here. However, I think the most important thing to share about Brian is he is very committed to this community. We live here. We're not going anywhere. We have a business here. Hopefully that's not going anywhere. I work for Medina City Schools. Hopefully that's not changing anytime soon as well. So we're in for the long haul. Our children started kindergarten this year, and they will probably, hopefully, just miss the free kindergarten. It was very worth the full day. So I'm really happy to hear that we're moving forward to try and get that for all students. We make it a family affair. We support as many local organizations as possible. The Hands Foundation, the Alzheimer's Association, Salvation Army, Project Munch, Let's Make a Difference. We want our community better. We want it as good as it can possibly be. He is working to develop programs to maintain and revitalize our neighborhoods. He's working in a fiscally responsible budget, and we want a better Medina. Thank you.
Morning. Thanks for the invitation. Excuse me. My name is Bob Campbell. I'm the independent candidate for Medina Municipal Court. I'm running for judge of the Medina Municipal Court because this is my home. I was born in Medina County. I grew up in Homerville and as a graduate of Black River High School. I was involved in various extracurriculars at Black River, but when you weren't doing homework or in a practice, you were in the barn. And I was also a member of 4-H and Medina County 4-H junior leaders. After law school, I returned to Medina County to start my career and to raise my own family. I have 3 children who are all proud graduates of the Medina High School. I started my legal career as an assistant Medina County prosecutor, where I was responsible for the prosecution of roughly 50% of all the felony cases filed in Medina County. There I tried jury trials in matters ranging from simple drug possession to aggravated murder. After the prosecutor's office, I began my own private law office in Medina County in Brunswick in 1996, and I've been engaged in the private practice of law in Medina ever since. There I have also done many jury trials, including aggravated murder, OVI. I am probably the only candidate who has tried an OVI case in the Medina Municipal Court. As an attorney in Medina for the last 25 years, I've had the honor to have been the counsel of record, the attorney responsible for the case in over 560 cases in the Medina Municipal Court. I've also had the privilege of serving as an acting judge in the Medina Municipal Court. An acting judge is like a substitute teacher. So as acting judge, I have presided over bench trials and made the decisions of whether somebody is guilty or not guilty. As an acting judge, I have presided over a jury trial. I have ruled on constitutional motions of whether or not a search or a seizure met the requirements of the Fourth Amendment of the United States Constitution. So I'm prepared, and I'm Bob Campbell, and I ask for your vote in November. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you to the Kiwanis for having us here today. My name is J.R. Russell, and I'm running for judge of the Medina Municipal Court. I'm running for the municipal court because I believe I'm the candidate that has the right experience, the right temperament, and the right judicial philosophy for the job. I live in the city of Medina with my wife, attorney Monica Russell, and our 2 children. We attend St. Francis Xavier, and we've been very involved with the community since we've been here. I attended The Ohio State University, and after that, I began with a public defender's office where I was representing criminal defendants in a variety of felony and misdemeanor matters. After I entered private practice, my practice became very broad. I have broad-based experience in a host of different civil and criminal matters. I am also the part-time prosecutor for the Village of Lodi, in addition to being a partner and part owner of my law firm. So what that means is I've been on both sides of all the types of cases that come before a municipal court, the criminal, the civil, on the defense side and the prosecution side. I've represented big corporations, large insurance carriers, manufacturing operations, and small family-owned businesses and consumers. And I don't have a particular axe to grind on one area because, again, I've been on both sides of the types of cases that appear. I've never been suspended or sanctioned by the Ohio Supreme Court. I always try to treat everyone with respect, both professionally and personally, and I generally have a very good working relationship with the attorneys and other people I run into in the course of my professional and my personal life. I'm also a very big proponent of establishing a specialized drug court docket with the municipal court. I think this is very important because we're certainly facing a drug epidemic, and I want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to address that. And I think the drug court's the way to go. I'm J.R. Russell. I hope you vote for me on November 7th.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Clay. Thank you, Kiwanis, for the invitation. My name is Gary Warner. I'm the Republican candidate for the Medina Municipal Court this year. I'm a 1979 graduate of Brunswick High School and a member of its Distinguished Alumni Hall of Fame. I have a bachelor's degree in economics from UCLA and a law degree from Loyola Law School in California. This will not be my first experience with public service. I've served for 10 years in the city of Brunswick, 4 as its mayor, and for 5 years in various council positions on the council. During the period that I served as mayor, I presided over its mayor's court for 4 years, and I've acted in that court as a magistrate several times since. During that time, I sentenced and arraigned thousands of defendants on exactly the kinds of charges that will be confronted in the Medina Municipal Court, primarily OVI, traffic, and misdemeanor criminal. Just so you know, in the Medina Municipal Court, about 97% of those cases are terminated by arraignments and sentencing. Very few of those cases are tried anymore, 1 to 2% at most, according to statistics from the last 16 years. So the experience I had arraigning and sentencing defendants on the mayor's court is exactly the experience that I'll need for the sentencing and arraignment, which compose most of the work of that Medina Municipal Court. The reason I'm running is because after 23 years, I have a strong sense of what good judges do and what the other kinds of judges do. And my purpose, as it has been in all of my public service, it's to put into effect in the public realm the kinds of changes, responsibility, accountability, and respect for the tax-paying public that is owed to all people who support these offices. I'm very excited about doing the work, very excited about continuing my public service, and ask you all to please remember me on November 7th. There's cards on the table. It's got a website, a Facebook page, if you want the whole bio and the rest of the story. Thank you very much for having us here.
Good morning, everyone. It's great to be in front of Kiwanians. As you know, I am a member of the Noon Kiwanis Club, so I think the whole family is a wonderful family and great service to our community. So thank you for being here today and asking us to be here. I have the fortunate position, or the position I'm in, is the fact that my opponent has dropped out of the race. So I am more than glad to give a happy dollar when we pass around the jar for the happy dollars. I have to borrow not going to take a lot of time because I think I'm last. I have to borrow a line from Kathy Fortney, a former clerk of court, and I remember her saying one time, stand up to be seen, speak up to be heard, and sit down to be appreciated. Thank you.
Good morning. First, I'd like to thank the Kiwanis for providing this forum for me to speak. I am Bill Ostman. I am running for re-election for Medina Township trustee. I have been a resident of Medina Township for 35 years, and I've been a trustee for 15. I have a wife, Kim, that I've been married to for 37 years, and I have 2 adult children, Kristen and Werner, who both graduated from Medina City Schools. I believe that we as public officials need to sharpen our pencils and spend tax dollars as efficiently and as wisely as possible, which is why I voted to enter into a contract for fire services with the city of Medina. This will be a first step to fire district, which will, I believe, save a lot of money and provide services as efficiently as possible. We are also in Ohio checkbook, so our finances can be watched, and our minutes are on our website at medinatownship.com. And again, thank you for the invitation, and I appreciate your vote on November 7th. Thank you.
Good morning, and thank you very much for the Kiwanis for inviting us here to speak this morning. My name is Jimmy Trainer. I'm running for Medina Township trustee. I've been a township resident for 16 years. I've been married to my wife, Regina, for 31 years. And usually after I say that, I say, happy wife, happy life. We have a grown son named Christopher. I'm a member of Holy Martyrs Catholic Church. My civic involvement is that I am a member of the Medina Township Zoning Board, and instead of taking a salary, I donate my salary back to the township because that's my way of volunteerism to try to give back to the community where I live. I was fortunate enough for 38 years to be a police officer. And I retired from the Cleveland police officer after being a first responder. I was actually the guy who came out and gave you service when you called. I also, for the last 14 years, have owned a small restaurant at the historic West Side Market. It's the West Side Market Cafe. I like to say that I think both my skill sets as a policeman, as far as knowing how government should respond to emergencies, and also my ownership of a restaurant where I've had to manage budgets and make payroll, makes me the best candidate to become a township trustee. I think the major concerns for the township right now are keeping our cost, our taxes low. And the reason I like to keep the taxes low is because I think we have three groups of people that live in the township. The new people that are just moving in that are trying to make bills. The second group is, I think, the middle-aged that have kids in college and are trying to make their payments. And also our senior citizens who are stuck with fixed incomes. And that's why I like to try to protect them. And I appreciate your vote on November 7th. Thank you.
Thank you to the Medina Breakfast Kiwanis for allowing us this opportunity to address them this morning. My name is Mike Stopa, and I may not have the loudest voice, but I'll be your voice and I'll listen to you as Medina Township trustee. When I started this campaign, I told the voters that they have two decisions at the crossroads of the township. The first choice was theirs, to determine which path they would like to go down. The path that allows them with no voice, a path where no discussion is made and no decisions are made to benefit the whole township. Or do they choose the path of change? A path that brings transparency, open discussion, and most of all, a path where their voice is heard. But how do we get to this choice? The couple asked me while I was out campaigning. I told them it's simple. It takes 3 independent thinking trustees that are willing to be open and honest with the residents. Allow them to have a voice in the township and allow them to make and help the decisions with the trustees. I told them that a voice for me is a commitment to them to build hope. And when this commitment is fulfilled, I will build their trust. I asked the voters of Medina Township for their vote this election year and make the commitment of change. Again, my name is Mike Stopa. I'm a 13-year resident of Medina Township, married with 2 kids that are in Medina City schools. I'm employed as an inventory control specialist for a large inventory supply company for 21 years. I'm a former 13-year employee of Medina Township, past township trustee in 2009, current Board of Zoning Appeals for the last 9 years. In 2010, I was voted Medina Township Firefighter of the Year, and I also have 2 Life-Saving Star Awards for service as a firefighter. Remember, I may not have the loudest voice, but I'll be your voice, and I'll listen. Thank you again. Have a nice day.
Good morning, everybody. I'd like to thank everyone for the opportunity to speak today. I've been an employee of AT&T for 28 years. Recently, I had the opportunity to help with hurricane relief in Texas and Florida with our network disaster recovery team. What an effort that was. We were able to bring communications back so people that were affected could make calls to loved ones just to let them know they're okay. It was a great collaborative effort between government, first responders, and private industry, and I'm glad to say I was part of that team. I've lived in Medina Township for 19 years. I was employed by the township for 15, and I want to tell you it's time for change. If I'm going to implement change that benefits Medina Township as a whole, not just a small segment, I'll need to focus on open dialogue with all residents. Throughout this campaign, I made my contact information available on social media and in all literature that has been distributed. To date, I've responded to 100% of all questions asked. When elected, I'd like to continue that open dialogue, keeping people informed and give them a voice on the decisions being made on their behalf. I feel I'm headed in the right direction, using social media and looking for other ways to stay in touch. Right now, there are no agendas posted prior to public meetings, and the website's minutes are usually about a month behind. It's hard for people to stay in touch when they're not informed. What makes me the best candidate for the job? I'm someone that knows how to run projects, using resources to find the smartest people to gain the information needed to have successful outcomes. Bringing a multifaceted approach to decision-making will lead to better results for Medina Township. There's a lot to be done in the next 4 years. Forming a fire district is a great idea. I'm on the panel to help form that fire district, and I think that's a positive move in the right direction. Filling vacant storefronts while maintaining a rural charm of Medina Township by being friendlier towards business. Restoring trust and transparency in our leadership by being approachable and listening. Soliciting to with more community involvement, possibly partnering with the Kiwanis. Maybe doing something for our bicentennial, maybe building a play set at our town park. Thank you, Mark Radis. Vote for me on November 7th.